Happy birthday, everybody, and welcome to Cerealsly, where we take cereals seriously. Today on Cerealsly, we're going international. Right after the first episode of Cerealsly dropped, an old high school friend of mine contacted me. We went to high school together in Verona, Wisconsin, but now she lives with her wife outside of Vancouver, Canada. She was so excited for me as I started this channel that she was willing to help ship me some unique Canadian cereals to review. We're actually going to take a quick look at 4 separate cereals and then really review only one that you'll see it ends up being key. This one actually is not from my friend Margalo. It's someone else gave this to me, also from Canada though. It's Tim Hortons Cafe Mocha cereal. Some of you know Tim Hortons is a coffee shop, over 3,000 locations in Canada, some in the US, but not nearly widespread. I've heard it's like our Starbucks, and I'm impressed with that. So we're not going to try this today. Just want to say that this is one of the Canadian cereals I kind of have in stock. Here are some that Margalo actually sent. First one is Nesquik cereal from Canada. We used to have this in America, and then for some reason that they won't tell us, it went away. They just don't make it in our country anymore. A lot of people are upset by that. You got to go to Canada now to get it. I think they're kind of Cocoa Puffs-y. Cocoa Puffs-ish, but we'll have to wait and see because I think I'm going to save this again for a different episode. Another one that I know some of you are going to be excited about, which is this Caramel Toast Crunch, or Caramel Toast Crunch, however you say that. This is very unique. We have very similar whatever toast crunches in the United States. We have Dulce de Leche Toast Crunch recently. Upcoming, we have Tres Leches Toast Crunch. But this is entirely different, entirely something separate. But finally, we have the most important cereal, the one we're actually going to review today, and the one that inspired Margalo to reach out, I think, and that is this Canadian Corn Pops. I hope you Americans look closely enough at this box to immediately see what is so strange to us about this cereal, and that is that these are completely different in texture and shape from American Corn Pops. Here in America, our Corn Pops have kind of the texture of popcorn, the squishy bit, not the crunchy bit. Corn Pops were actually once called sugar Corn Pops, which obviously wouldn't fly today. And do you remember that they used to have a foil bag? I remember as a kid, that was an anomaly. Maybe it's because it gets too sticky, it needed a foil bag. I remember Honey Smacks had that same thing. Here they look like Kicks. That's what they look like. I tried to look it up if there's Kicks in Canada. I couldn't figure that out. Margalo, you have to let me know if they've got regular original Kicks there. I know they have honey ones, but that might not count. But what do you think? Will this Canadian cereal bring a glow to our hearts? Will we be inspired to stand on guard for these? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. All right, we are ready to eat some Canadian Corn Pops. You can see I got the cereal, I got my bowl and spoon, and these might be a little hint to what's happening in a little bit. Got my skim milk, it's still purple from Target. Why do they make it purple? Why isn't there a standardized color for skim milk? The world is a confusing place. We don't need different colors gumming up the works. One thing I didn't point out before and that I love about Canadian cereals is, of course, they have similar design on the front and back, but that's because one side is in English, unlimited crunchiness, it says about Corn Pops. Boy, that's weird to me, because they're not unlimited crunchiness in America. And then on the back, they have the French version. All the things are in French. Quantité illuminée de croquant. De croquant. I assume that means unlimited crunchiness. I'm so sorry if I butchered that French. It was just really fun for me to try to read. One other thing, they talk about when you should eat it. They say maybe you could, I'm reading the French here. You could have it at lunchtime or afternoon, game time, evening snack. None of those are breakfast. This is only continuing that trend that we've been talking about cereals wanting so badly to get out of just being seen as a breakfast food. They want all your time. They want you to be constantly eating cereal, and I am here for it. I'm so happy for that. Some of you have already guessed it by seeing these bowls, but we're not just going to be looking at Canadian Corn Pops today. We are going to also be looking at the classic for me, American Corn Pops. But that's not all, friends. Seriously, we don't just do 2 cereals, as sometimes we do. Today we're doing 3 because I also got a bag of the Malt-o-Meal version Corn Bursts. And the colors are similar, the shape is similar. I gotta tell you, just touching them, even in the bag, they seem different. And so it's gonna be a fun exploration. I'm a big fan of Malt-o-Meal and what they're after and what they're doing. So I thought it'd be worth, if we're gonna try Corn Pops, to do it right. Not just international Corn Pops, but all the varieties I could put my hands on. But let's start let's start with the Canadian Corn Pops and dive in, because that's what this is all about. The friendly nations getting together to understand each other better over a bowl of cereal. It is not a foil bag. It is a normal, regular, sort of see-through plasticky bag. I cannot believe what I am looking at. These are absolutely nothing like American Corn Pops. And I already have compared them to Kix, guessing at that. They do not look like Kix. They look much bigger than Kix. I'm very surprised by the size. I'm holding them in my hand and they're very hard. I'm gonna try a couple of them dry just to see what's what. Huh, very confusing for me. And I think that's what international relations should be. Trying different things in our lives. We should step out of our comfort zone. It does have the flavor of Corn Pops. The texture could not be more different. It is an entirely different thing. It is more Kix-like in texture. It is so sweet. Now, I don't know if that's just because I haven't had any Corn Pops in a while, but these are very sweet cereal, which is funny because they taste sweet and then the flavor is corn. They're not something else flavored. It's just corn. So let me try it with some milk on it. They got milk in Canada, right? They do. It's right on the box. And I've been there. Well, I've been to Niagara Falls and Toronto once, so I didn't drink milk there, but I should have. Here, let's give it a try. I gotta say, these are very good. They taste a lot to me more like Captain Crunch flavor than I expected. One more bite just to experience the connection with our neighbors to the north. Bon. Is that French? Boy, that was really interesting. I'm gonna put it aside. Actually, I think it will hold up fine in milk because of its different texture. It's a much crunchier texture. I don't think that about our American Corn Pops. Let's open it up and see. With a fight form. Yeah, this is what I'm used to. I'm feeling at home. It's fun to cross boundaries, to go other places. It is always comforting to say, oh yeah, but this is what I grew up with. These are the flimsiest bits of nothing I've ever seen. They are really like you popped popcorn and then you cut off the nubs and are just left with the puffy bits. And then you poured sugar sauce all over them until they were sort of caramelized. Let me try this. Wow. I mean, so different, but I taste the similarities. They are siblings for sure. Are we siblings with Canadians? Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know what heritage means anymore. Let's try this, American Corn Pops. See if there's anything more to say about this. I love this flavor. It is very insubstantial. I mean, chewing through this makes you feel like you're not eating very much. I'm looking at the calories and they're very similar as far as what actual calorie density happens. How could that be? But these are for wimps. These are for the rough and tumble people who got to deal with winter. Let's put that aside. I enjoyed both of these so far. This has been really fun. But finally, we got the Corn Bursts. Now it says new and improved. That's a shame. I don't want things improved. I want them to stay the same. But they felt like they needed to. I wish I had a bag around of the old stuff. I don't. Malt-o-Meal is always a little bit more tricky to open. Went fine. That's step one. Nope. See, we're doing that thing. Oh, I almost didn't get it. Have you ever had a Malt-o-Meal bag that did that? Where you had to like get a scissors out or use your teeth to open this section? Yeah, they don't look the same. They don't look like Corn Pops. I don't. Ooh, they look tanner. I know I've always talked so low about things that are tan here, but these both have a yellowness to them, a glow to them. This third one, it doesn't. Let's try some of this dry, see what we think. Uh-oh, I don't like this very much. I wish it wasn't labeled as Corn Bursts. I wish there wasn't a mental connection between them because this is not tasting like that. Let's give it a try though. Who am I to not have high hopes for something that has given me very little reason to have high hopes for it? Let's try it. Fascinating. Crunch-wise, it's like right in the middle of these other two. It has way more of a texture like Canadian corn pops. And then it tastes or looks a little bit more like the American corn pops. I gotta tell you though, they missed it. Malt-o-Meal, you didn't do it for this one. You've done it in other cereals where you really capture the essence of them. Not this one. This is just surprising to me that it just doesn't taste correct. I'm looking at the ingredients here. Can this be true? On regular corn pops, can you guess what the #1 ingredient is in American corn pops? It is milled corn. Great. Let's go to the Canadian corn pops, which are very different. Cornmeal. Now, let's talk about corn bursts. #1 ingredient, sugar. I'm blown away. I don't know that I've ever recognized that as being possible. That the #1 ingredient for a cereal could be sugar. I know it's way up there, but more that the second ingredient here is degermed yellow corn flour. Degermed. I guess that's good. Why not have so many germs in it? That can't be what it meant. Well, I gotta say, Canadian corn pops, I'm gonna give 3.5 maple leaves. These American corn pops, I'm gonna give them 3.5 stars and stripes each. Wait, is that 7 stars and stripes? No, combined stars and stripes. Corn bursts, I'm sad about. I was hoping for more. I don't think they should be invited to the international party that we have going on here. That's a real shame. I've never thought so poorly about a Malt-o-Meal cereal. Now I'm going to check the bags more carefully to see if that #1 ingredient thing is sugar. I hope I'm not misspeaking. I don't think I am. I thought I read it correctly. That's wild to me. So I'm going to give it 1.5. I guess it's 1.5 at least. It's better than some things I've tried. 1.5 for corn bursts. The winner, our two nations coming together. I was just going to pick these up and clack them, and I thought better of it because that would have been a disaster. But I'm so glad. This is Margalo. This is me, and this is life. Well, friends, we've done it all. We talked, we ate, we spread international goodwill, and now it's enough. If you want to try today's cereals for yourself, I hope you have a Canadian friend. That would be awesome. If not, I think you can get these online and have them shipped into the United States. The other ones commonly available, lots of grocery stores. So that's okay. You can find them anywhere you want. But listen, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then leave a comment with what cereal you would like us to look together at in a future episode. Until then, never be soggy, my friends. Boba.